Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token stream number 2. And of course, welcome, subscribe, and hit that like button. And hello. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. Now, obviously, I'm your host, Superman, and of course, here, good old Kiwi land, we're gonna get into a cool stream about PulseChain, man. PulseChain madness is coming. It is coming for sure. We're in the quiet period, but PulseChain madness is coming. And of course, it's going to be absolutely hectic as people take their positions up, try to participate. And man, when the airdrop hits, everyone's going to be super excited. It's going to cause an absolute uproar. It's going to be crazy madness. Think of those Friday black sales or something like that. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And of course, once that bridge opens up, wow, it's going to be hardcore. So lots of cool things coming up from PulseChain madness. And of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just get into the chat there. I'm just going to check the audio's up and running. And we'll check that. So get in the chat, say hello. We've got It's Now in the house there. Woohoo! Nice one. And Alex in there too. Good to see Alex. Very cool. Sounds like the audio's up and running pretty nicely. And we also got, Gonzo Hop in the house. Morning from UK. Woohoo! Hey, good to see you, Gonzo Sop as well. And Jen and Craig Wellings in there as well. Woohoo! Very excited. So we've got lots of calls out in the chat there. We're going to talk about PulseChain madness. Now, obviously, we're in a quiet period. This is actually the ideal period to accumulate positions ready for PulseChain when it does launch. When's it expected to launch? Well, probably the earliest date at this stage is mid-April? No, mid-May. Mid-May, that's where it is. So we're probably looking at mid-May. We're going to have a quick look at Richard Hart, the founder, of course, of PulseChain. And now,
my next PulseChain and PulseX are the next things to launch. They're soon, like less than 2 months. The best guesses I have from devs are mid-May. That's the best guesses I've got, which is less than a month.
So there we are. Mid-May is kind of looking when it's going to be. And of course, we've had the latest sacrifice balances up and running. So we're going to check that out too. Very excited about that. But the PulseChain testnet is up and running. 3-second blocks at the moment. And looking really good. Well over 1 billion transactions as well on the blockchain. Looking really good through Explorer. The Explorer has now hit 50% of the way. So you can see at the top there, 50% now is being indexed. Very exciting to see that. And of course, total blocks on the blockchain, 15,400,000 almost, looking really good. There's also 131,000 wallets on there at the moment, and of course that's on the testnet. Imagine when mainnet goes live, it's going to be insane in the membrane. Remember, there's about 196 million, I should say, 196 million wallets on the Ethereum blockchain. So you can imagine what this number is going to look like within weeks, within months. Of course, when everything gets copied over, it's going to be pretty exciting to see how that grows. Everything's getting copied over, so all those wallets will be getting dropped. 196 million wallets, whatever they've got in those wallets will be being dropped. 196 million, crazy numbers to think about, will be dropped. The first system state copy of Ethereum network, the second biggest network, and of course the biggest DeFi network in crypto is about to, or smart contracts is about to get dropped. The biggest system state copy ever. Never been done before. Other chains have launched either empty or very little on them. And of course, not PulseChain. PulseChain's going to have all the contracts copied. That's the ERC20 is going to get copied. So you're going to get free copies. In other words, you'll still have everything on Ethereum, but you're going to get it all copied over to PulseChain. Mad. So ERC20s, 721s, 1155 contracts. So the NFTs are coming. General purpose contracts coming. Token contracts are coming. Over 500,000 token contracts are coming. It is insane. So millions of contracts are coming over to PulseChain, and of course 196 million wallets have been in existence since Ethereum started. That's a massive scale. And of course, when the bridge opens up, man, it's going to be insane madness on PulseChain. I just can't say it. I'm going to repeat some of these numbers because it's that big a deal. 196 million wallets. Everything is getting copied from Ethereum. Ethereum is worth a lot of money. We're going to pull it up and see how much Ethereum is worth at the moment. Let's pull it up on the good old heat map there and get excited because madness is coming. Could you imagine all the people that will be coming over on the chain there to try and get into the action on PulseChain is going to be absolutely amazing. All their free airdrops, their PRC20s. So when ERC20s get airdrop, they're going to be called PRC20s. That's for PulseChain, and it's going to be insane for that for sure. So ETH here, $3,000 at the moment today, and we're going to check out what the market cap is at the moment. 362 billion is the market cap of Ethereum. Insane. So you're talking about huge. This whole thing's getting copied. Price is going to start at zero. Means that you have a chance to accumulate a lot of tokens that you think are going to be priced up really well, particularly popular tokens. It means that you're going to be able to get airdrops, of course, of these tokens straight off the bat and maybe accumulate more. It means there's going to be price discovery. So how close are we going to get to this market cap? That's going to be fascinating to watch. It's going to be so awesome. You can see it's going to be a madhouse as people find out. More and more people find out. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And with 196 million wallets, and it's just going to be insane. So even with millions of active wallets, you're going to see crazy numbers. 1.3 million transactions per day. You're going to see crazy numbers. And of course, Polygon and Binance Smart Chain doing 3 to 4 and 5 to 6 million a day per chain. So respectively, it is going to be crazy stuff, folks. It is going to be utterly madness on PulseChain. I'm excited. This is the quiet time. And the second part of course, what I've talked about, not only is PulseChain going to be madness, it's going to be on a scale that's unbelievable. People just haven't got this in their heads, how big this scale, and it is massive. 196 million wallets. This is the last time I'm going to say this one. 196 million wallets. I said it again because it's that big. That's big. I had to say it again. It's going to be massive, and everything's coming over. All the contracts going to be amazed. Like I said, over 500,000 token contracts, and many of the tokens that are struggling over on Ethereum because of the gas fees are going to be thriving, being able to thrive or given the opportunity to thrive on PulseChain. It's going to be 4 times faster, maybe 5 times, maybe even up to 200 times faster on terms of the speed, and of course super cheap. Instead of paying high gas fees, you're going to be paying a fraction of a penny. So one pulse, you'll be able to do hundreds, if not over 1,000 transactions for one pulse token. And of course, that's amazing for fractions of a penny. So it's going to really unleash commerce. Commerce is going to be unleashed on PulseChain. DeFi, GameFi, NFTs, anything you can think of. It's going to be absolutely yield farming. It's all going to be absolutely amazing. So biggest airdrop in crypto history, biggest yield farming in crypto history through PulseX. PulseX is like the Uniswap of Ethereum. It's going to be insane, but with superior tokenomics, it's going to be crazy. The total supply of Pulse and PulseX is at the beginning. It's already been issued, and of course, people are going to be fighting for that. They want to get hold of that limited supply. Now, limited because there's so many more wallets coming over for the few wallets that got them. Maybe 50,000 wallets for PulseChain, maybe 150,000 for PulseX, and of course, if you've got 196 million wallets over Ethereum, just a fraction of those coming over is going to give a massive ratio trade for that Pulse and PulseX. Everyone's going to need Pulse to operate, but everyone wants to speculate on Pulse. All of the organizations that couldn't can get involved in the sacrifice because of perhaps legality are going to be able to come and buy Pulse early. They know the game, get the Pulse in the first few months, and that's the way to go. So this is the second part, accumulate before the launch for the biggest gains. And of course, the prices at the moment couldn't be better for accumulation if you think about it. So let's have a look at what I mean by that. So we've already talked about PulseChain. It's operating there. You can see Testnet 2B in play right now, working really, really nice. And of course, we've got the PulseX there, the equivalent of Uniswap, but supercharged. Total amount of tokens at the beginning, of course, a buy and burn function, which is just insane. You can click on the buy and burn function, and you can see the fact that the buy and burn is going to be amazing. So every $1 billion in daily volume is going to be $700,000 US of buy and burn. And of course, at the moment, just under 25 billion on the testnet there is being burned. So powerful stuff, and people get paid a little bounty to actually call that public function to burn. So pretty awesome stuff. It is full of incentives, packed full of incentives for sure. Now, the other thing, of course, is the PulseChain has a lot of things you can actually do proof of stake straight away, unlike the hybrid network of Ethereum. And of course, the delay in getting to a full proof of stake. This is far more egalitarian. So the proof of stake here on PulseChain is going to open it up for a lot of people to be able to stake their Pulse here. So it's going to be pretty awesome. You can see 33 validators are going to be required. We're currently on the testnet got 389. Now, I expect probably a much smaller number than that when we actually go live with mainnet, but we need 33 operating, and you can see they're operating at the moment. Well-known people, David Feather, Hodl Dog, many other people here operating stuff at the moment. Free Pulse in there as well, operating validators. You'll be able to stake with these validators. If you've got a small amount of Pulse, you'll be able to stake a small amount. If you've got a large amount, you can stake with some of the larger validators. Just up to you, really. So pretty cool there. We've got the Pulse Bridge, of course, which is going to open up the ability to send tokens. This is going to be the real game changer. Everyone's getting the biggest airdrop on PulseChain, but once the bridge opens up, they're going to be able to send tokens back and forth from Ethereum over to PulseChain using the wrap token process. It's going to be absolutely insane. So huge opportunity, folks. Proof of stake, super fast transactions, super cheap, and of course the ability to get in early on price discovery, the biggest gold rush in crypto history. It's going to be absolutely insane. When this bridge opens up, it's game over. A huge number of people, not just from Ethereum with its 196 million wallets, but of course from other chains around the planet. So it's going to be absolutely epic. Now, of course, we'll talk about accumulating. If you want to get involved in the madness, you really need to accumulate, and the prices couldn't be better. Probably the best thing to do to get to participate, especially if you haven't got involved in PulseChain and PulseX Sacrifice, is to get involved in Hex. And of course, Hex at the moment is on a nice pullback, and of course, prices do go through cycles, ups and downs. And of course, here it is at 12.7 cents at the moment, just insane. And of course, you can pick up a ton of X. You're going to get a copy. Remember, everything gets copied on Ethereum over to PulseChain as long as you're in time before the launch there and in the right block height, which is not yet known. So once again, pretty awesome to pick up Hex. It's probably the most probable one to get priced up. Remember, everything starts from zero on PulseChain, but it gets priced up. And of course, Hex is already run by the same founder, Richard Hart, who is also starting PulseChain. And of course, it has proven itself to be one of the very best projects out there. And for much of 2020 and 2021, it was actually the best crypto chart in crypto land. So pretty awesome there. It's had a nice little pullback, and that gives you a nice little entry to get a copy of Hex on Ethereum and then get it copied over to PulseChain. So you'll have Hex on Ethereum and Hex on PulseChain, and that's amazing. Now, of course, if you stake it, you also get the staked Hex copied over too, and you've got two forms of passive income, 38% APY at the moment for a average length stake of 6.42 years. Pretty amazing stuff if you think about it on both chains. Yeah, I would go for that. And of course, Ethereum is the biggest chain. PulseChain's about to drop, and of course, it's going to ripple throughout crypto land, as you can see, given how valuable Ethereum is, worth $362 billion at the moment. So exciting stuff ahead for PulseChain, and of course, to accumulate is the key. Once again, awesome stuff. Now, you've got to do your investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel is investment advice, but of course, this is super exciting. Look at this stuff to pick this up. Now, let's go to the daily on the Hex price, see how good the buying opportunity is at the moment. It couldn't be better. We have had a massive price rise all the way up to 52%. When we got to 52 cents, that was a 1,000,000% rise of Hex. Could you believe it? 1,000,000% rise. Amazing. 10,000x, folks. And of course, you've been lucky enough to participate just before PulseChain launches to have that pull back to about 76%, something like that. So pretty exciting stuff. And you can see the pullback at the moment, 75%. Typically, this happens when you go through price cycles, ups and downs. And of course, buying at the bottom of a price cycle is ideal, especially when you know you're in a really good project and you got PulseChain coming. That is really good, and you're going to get a 2-for-1 deal, right? So you get Hex on PulseChain and on Ethereum. So it's pretty amazing stuff there. Possibly PulseChain could launch as early as 15th of May. So we will see, as we saw from Richard Hart himself. That is pretty exciting. So we're going to play that one more time just so you can see his indication of a timeline in this video. So let's play that now.
My next PulseChain and PulseX are the next things to launch. They're soon, like less than 2 months. The best guesses I have from devs are mid-May. That's the best guesses I've got, which is less than a month. So
you can see it's going to be pretty soon, folks. So time is running out, and of course, it's going to be madness when PulseChain launches. It's going to be absolute madness. And accumulating your position is really important. And of course, Hex is probably the best way to do that. Now, not only when you get Hex, do you get a copy on PulseChain. And of course, when you're on PulseChain, there's going to be 1 or 2 days before the bridge opens up that we talked about. And you'll be out. So before this bridge opens up, 1 or 2 days later, you'll be able to do ratio trading. So maybe you missed out on the native token Pulse which you're going to need for fees. But you can also ratio trade Hex that you buy now. You're going to get free copy on PulseChain. You're going to ratio trade that for Pulse at the beginning. You got 1 or 2 days before the bridge opens up. That would be super exciting. The other thing, of course, you can also swap Hex for on PulseChain for PulseX tokens as well, if you want to get part of the exchange action. And of course, this has got the big buy and burn. Every $1 billion of daily trading volume is basically $700,000 of buy and burn action. So $1 billion, $700,000 of buy and burn action. Pretty amazing. Now, obviously, on here there's also incentive tokens, so that's also really cool. So there'll be incentive tokens if you're doing providing liquidity and doing yield farming. You'll be able to get access to that. And of course, there's also going to be a pool, one-sided staking pools as well. So if you buy PulseX, you'll be able to put that in different third-party pools. And there may even be incentive token drops for some of those pools as well. And of course, they'll be attractive passive income as well. So really lots of opportunities here on PulseX with the liquidity and farming and pools, as you can see. Very exciting indeed. The other thing, of course, with those two, you're earning passive income. Plus, of course, the buy and burn is actually buying and burning the token, so it's getting less and less and less over time. There's probably about 17 trillion PulseX in the supply that was going to be in public hands. And of course, outside what we call the origin account, which is going to be like a centralized amount. But in the public hands, this is where it's stuff that really matters, and about 17 trillion there. Pulse, of course, is going to have probably about 12.3 trillion, plus about another 3 trillion in the liquidity pools when the AMM bot sets up the liquidity pools before the public is able to access the chain in the first day or two of ratio trading. So very exciting for that. So lots of stuff coming. Good price to get into heaps of Hex, man. And of course, Hex itself, with the excitement of PulseChain coming up, could pump. And many of us are expecting that. Obviously not investment advice, but man, the next pump could be absolutely massive on Hex too. So it's going to be fascinating to watch that. Not only with Hex do you get Hex, of course, you get a double on the PulseChain. You can ratio trade and things like that in the first day. But of course, you can earn a 38% APY at the moment on a 6.4 year stake. On top of that, you can actually claim your Hedron as well. And that's another form of passive income. And of course, get paid Hedron for every B share. And with a special claim bonus on at the moment of 5x. And tomorrow that will be 4x, but today it's 5x. And so the stakes when they start, so it's going to be 4x coming up. It's going to be pretty awesome. And alternatively, if you don't stake your Hex, you can always stake it differently. You can stake it in a pool and get into the Maxi token. So lots of derivative opportunities, derivative products on top of Hex are happening at the moment. PulseChain, Hedron, Maxi, there is never endless. And of course now the PLSD got airdropped to people that had stakes before the 20th of April. And of course, people are claiming those as well. So it's pretty amazing to see all this play out. I just think it's incredible to accumulate your positions, get yourself really well done. Now, you don't have to get involved with Hex if you don't want to ratio trade. You could also buy ERC20s. And of course, you could do that by just buying tokens of your choice that you think are going to be really get priced up really well. Maybe SHIB or Link or something like that, Dogecoin. You can look at different ones that you might want to accumulate that you think will get priced up well on PulseChain. Because remember, it's going to be super fast and super cheap over there, and that's going to enable a lot of projects that will do really well. In addition to that, of course, there's going to be new projects coming on, maybe like Trust Wallet and things like that. Maybe their tokens will do really well because they're supporting already announced support for PulseChain and coming on PulseChain. So there's lots of cool opportunities like that. Metaverses should do really well, like Mana, and they should, the incentives are there for them to adopt it, because basically everything on PulseChain is an exact copy for the most part, except for the enhancements, the proof of work and the speed, etc., of the blocks to Ethereum. So it's going to be really the way Ethereum should be with the user experience. Everyone should be really excited. Like I say, up to 196 million wallets on Ethereum, man. Even a fraction of those that are active coming over to a PulseChain is going to be insane, as I always say. The other thing, of course, with the yield farming on PulseX, we're going to get so many yield farmers coming over. For these yield farmers, they want to come and provide liquidity, and of course they'll get their LP tokens. They earn fees on here, of course, and then of course they're going to take the LP tokens and earn incentive tokens here on the farms. So it's going to be pretty amazing when they put those in here, so they can put their LPs in there and earn more returns there in passive income. Pretty exciting. And all the while, especially if they do powerful pairs like PLSX and Pulse, the two main tokens there, Pulse being the one for PulseChain and PLSX being for the exchange. You can imagine the buy and burn just underlines their performance as well, enabling them, both of them, to head up together. So that reduces improvement loss issues as well. Obviously, that's some exciting stuff there. Hundreds of thousands of yield farmers are hunting great yields, and so it's going to be exciting. And of course, the one-sided staking pools are there as well. So pretty exciting, folks. The PulseChain madness is coming. Accumulate before the launch for the biggest gains. You want to get that copy 2 for 1. This is a one-off, right? Because once PulseChain launches at the particular block heights, there's going to be a block height that's going to have the copy of the tokens. If you've got your tokens at that block height, they're the ones that are going to get copied over. So we're looking forward to that news coming up soon as well. So very exciting. Hope you guys enjoyed that, man. I'm pumped. Hope you're pumped. And just be aware. Be aware. Start learning, doing as much learning as you can. Get out there, do your investment due diligence. Nothing on this channel, of course, is investment advice, just infotainment. But man, I am excited for some of these things, and my opinions on these, are just my opinion. So get into it. I think it's exciting. Biggest event in crypto easily in the next couple of years, barring a whole technological revolution. It's kind of like that. So unless we get quantum blockchains, I think we're pretty safe here with this being probably the biggest thing in crypto for a long time to come. So fun, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And also a little bit of tease here with Rochelle, of course, the #1 whale in the ecosystem. Met a nice man named Andrew, he said, who works at McLaren Auto Corporate. We attempted to contact the CMO for McLaren. He pitched PLS and PLX and was dismissed. Can you believe it? And that's insane judgment there. Andrew said, okay, and made a $50,000 sacrifice himself. How about that? So the company wasn't in play, but he made a $50,000 sacrifice himself. Man, is he going to be happy for that? What will McLaren see their employee do that they missed? Crypto comment there. So I think that's pretty hilarious. And man, I wouldn't mind that car, actually, to be honest. That's a pretty cool looking car. But nice one there. So really cool. And you can see that some smart money has got in. Some smart money does also miss out. So you decide who you're going to be. You're going to be the smart money that gets in or the smart money that misses out. So that's the way. Well, smart money becomes dumb money pretty quickly when you don't have good insight into stuff. So make sure you check out PulseChain. Do much investment investigating as you can, and try and get yourself well positioned either through buying Hex or some really good ERC20 token and get that copied over to PulseChain. Probably avoid stable coins for the time being unless you're going to bridge them over through the bridge. But in terms of getting an airdrop, get yourself either Hex as a top priority, or get yourself one of the top tokens, maybe like Shiba or something like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get into some of the comments there, and we'll hang out there on the Hex price. I'll probably leave that at the moment. We're going to go to the hourly and pull it up there, get rid of some of the overlays, and watch that. So Hex at 12.8 cents at the moment. Very cool. Now, of course, I'll actually leave also the Hex site there. If you want to pick up some Hex, you can do that on hex.com. So hex.com is the place to go. And of course, you can actually buy on the website there. Connect your wallet up. Get a MetaMask wallet. There is a how to buy section as well. Get a MetaMask, buy some Ethereum, swap the Ethereum for Hex and stake it, or you can just leave it in your wallet liquid, and then you can ratio trade that PulseChain Hex for the Pulse or PulseX. So pretty exciting. Let's go on to that. We've got a couple of people in the comments there, so let's go and get into that. And we've got Francis in the house. Hey, good to see you, Francis. I'm very excited. I hope you are. And AK's in the house. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm excited for sure. Let's jump through some of this. Pulse Life's in here. Good morning from the UK. Only streamer I watch these days. You're awesome, Superman, says Pulse Life. I appreciate that. Big shout out to you. And a big shout out to those in the UK. I guess it's summer's starting to come in here, because we're starting to lose our summer for sure. We're definitely not in the summer months anymore. So big shout out. Look forward to your summer coming up. Morris is in the house. Hi. Good to see Morris. Woo. Hex Token Channel as well. Excellent choices in there with the power fist. So definitely excited about PulseChain coming. Roll on the bridge, says Morris in live. Yeah, so make sure the two things you should do, besides accumulating tokens for the airdrop, the ERC20 tokens for the airdrop, is get used to PulseX, and of course get used to the Pulse ramp bridge here. Now you can find links in the video description, but you can also hit the Discord link below in the video, and you can join our Discord here We've got 225 members already, and we're heading towards 250. And so you can help make that happen. Get in there. We've got lots of cool stuff, useful links, video tutorials, YouTube and Twitter updates, and of course, price chats for Richard Heart tokens, as well as PulseChain tokens there as well. And if you become a member of this channel, you can hit the join button, become a PulseChain, Hextoken, or Richard Heart Club member, and support the channel. And you'll be able to get special access to the Hex Token channel members, and also get a purple name there in the chat there. Standard members are in blue. So pretty cool. Look forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let us land on the Hex price there, and we're going to jump through a few more of these. We've got Jonathan Kapala in the house. We met again. It's now. Hey, brother, good to see you. And what is an airdrop? Says it's now. What is an airdrop? That's true. 169 minutes wallets. Wow, says Morris. Absolutely. Now, a certain amount of them will be inactive of those wallets, but even a fraction of those active wallets coming over would be amazing. And typically there's a couple, at least 3 or 4 million of those. So nice. Dave, the Down Under says, if this is about a bridge, I'm excited. Thank you. Yeah, so I was going to do a bridge topic today, but the bridge topic will be tomorrow now because I had to do certain things here today. But of course, we can talk about PulseChain because it's super exciting. I think we've got to get the message across that it's coming. It's going to be madness too. So you want to get yourself well prepared. You want to teach yourself how to use the PulseX exchange. You want to teach yourself how to use the bridge. And of course, you can explore the block there, the exchange, the block exchange there as well, on the blockchain. So 3 things to do: look at the block explorer, also play with the exchange, and of course do play with the ramp, the bridge here before PulseChain launches on Testnet 2B. So very cool. That is Testnet 2B there. So what else we got going there? We got Susan says, Pulse Sacrifice, can we buy Hex to swap for Pulse? You can. In the first day or two, there's going to be a ratio trading there, Susan, and you'll be able to swap. You're going to get if you buy Hex on Ethereum now, you'll have that on Ethereum, and then of course you'll get that copied over to PulseChain, and you'll be able to then take that Hex on PulseChain and then ratio trade that within the day or two for Pulse. Now the ratios will be crazy, and of course you'll have to do your best to get the best rate, but there will be probably a day or two to do that, is our expectation at the moment. That's before the bridge opens up. Of course, once the bridge opens up, that means that everybody can come over from Ethereum, and a lot of people would not have got any Pulse through the sacrifice. Like I said, there's like 42,000 wallets officially, maybe up to 50,000 wallets, which we include Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and other wallets there, plus perhaps some syndicates that sacrifice for PulseChain as well. So very, very cool. So it's going to be a lot of people after them. We know there's a lot of people that sacrifice for PulseX, and there's probably about 150,000 wallets of those that are going to be after Pulse as well, because they missed out on a Pulse and did sacrifice some for in the PulseX sacrifice for the PulseChain one. So definitely opportunity there, Susan. Nice to see Susan in the house, by the way. Hit the like button. Woo, says Morris. Absolutely. Did they say bounty? Says Toxic Hedgehog. Now I think we're going to have to ban Toxic Hedgehog. I think, of course, that's probably a troll there. Morris is in the house there. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very cool. I always focus on the chat and forgets it's now. You do a great job. Yeah, it's now. You do a great job. Big shout out to us now on that chat there, moderating, and of course working the Discord as well. So it's now in the Discord there. Look at that. Great choice indeed. Nice. And we'll give a little thumbs up for that. The other thing, of course, is we got James Bond in the house. Woohoo! Hex Rocket Tokens and Mr. Faraj from India as well. Good morning, all. Good shout out to Mr. Faraj from Calcutta, India. Hello, everybody. Ready to get rich. Hey, that's a great line, right? It's going to be PulseChain madness. But of course, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I say this again and again. What is going to be bigger than PulseChain launching the first system state copy of Ethereum? Oh my goodness! At the beginning of the bull market, it was about 85% of the smart contracts were in Ethereum, and of course, DeFi boom, the NFT boom, all flourished from Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum's been forked many times and largely empty. And of course, many of those chains are what one might call close to ghost chains. But PulseChain, folks, is going to have everything, and it's going to have all the superior things that Ethereum should have. Proof of stake, staking with the validators, and of course, it's going to be awesomely open to a lot of people to do that. The other thing, of course, super fast, super cheap fees means that every project that's out on Ethereum that is not flourishing can flourish on PulseChain. And of course, even the ones that are flourishing on Ethereum, they can flourish even more on PulseChain because they don't have the high fees. And of course, that's going to be allow them to really grow. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hardy Hex is in the house. with the boat is leaving soon, the non-hexers will be left behind. Yeah, so Hex is really a great way of getting into it. That's why I suggest it. Obviously not investment advice, but I do suggest it if you're looking for a token that will probably get priced up pretty well after the bridge opens up too, and probably have a pretty decent ratio trading as well. So definitely check that out. Morris is in the house there. Hell yeah, it's going to be get ready to get rich. Grant Duncan says, interesting, can't get much over 14 cents considering such bigger things on the horizon. Hey, Grant, yeah, this is typically what happens before a launch. We often get a market environment where things get really quiet and they're kind of weird before the PulseChain launches. Once it launches, and once we get an announcement about the launch, then, or if it just suddenly launches, then the price can go through the roof. And that's typically what happens. And it's really weird. People like to pay higher prices. Is kind of the other weird thing that people like to do with these things as well. Now, the other thing, of course, is that we probably had a lot of other projects as well. So we had a lot of sacrifices during this time. We also had a lot of new projects jumping up that people were jumping onto before PulseChain. There's also distractions, capital allocation, in addition to the fact that this often happens. You have to get this quiet before the storm, before things really pump up. So probably a few things there around that, Grant. And there's a lot of money sitting off on the sidelines. So that's also another thing people might be having taken into account. So we'll see what happens from here. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Sachin says, this is the biggest opportunity we've ever going to have to accumulate Hex. Who knows what the price is going to be after PulseChain announcement. That's right. And that's on both chains, right? That's on both chains. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well. Sachin says, I hear there's going to be Minter available on single-sided staking. Well, Sachin, that is pretty cool little insight there. I wouldn't be surprised. Minter is going to be at PulseCon 2022 in Las Vegas coming up in September. So they really are going to be quite the force to be reckoned with. We know that one of the biggest YouTubers in the space, Gerardo, is fronting that one. And I think it's going to be very exciting to see that. I was super impressed by the user interface, the user experience on there based on the demos. And I think that project's going to do extremely well. Now, the question is, will something like OpenSea come on to PulseChain? I suspect that they will. I think they'd be quite mad not to ignore PulseChain, and maybe they are working behind the scenes to get onto PulseChain too. We could have the official OpenSea coming on. Obviously, they expanded into other chains like Polygon, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't move on PulseChain, especially with the first system state copy. That is amazing. So let's see what happens. NFT marketplace space. It's going to be an interesting place to be. But of course, the superiority of Mitra is that if you own the Mitra token, you will get a share of the profits, and you don't get that on PulseChain unless you include it into your NFT with some little minor pay it forward type of fees there. So yeah, for the most part though, it's going to be Mitra is really superior if you think about the profit sharing aspect to it. Crypto Keeper says, oh, there are about 60,000 wallets on the top 5,000 wallet sacrifice, 10,000 or more. What are the chances they are multimillionaires, and how long if they just hold, says Crypto Keeper? Well, I do think that we know about the top 1,000 wallets control about 70% of the supply, probably for both of those sacrifices. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see what they do. I think a lot of the bigger whales are playing the long game. We already see that Overwatch is already looking to get big business, commercial business on top of the chain and make that real business and add value to the chain. So I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be a mixed bag, of course, and we'll see how we get on over time. A lot of these people also know that the big X returns come by people that stay in the market and not by people that trade out straight away with the X returns. So it's going to be a bit of a play there. Who is going to play for the profiteering? So it's going to be fun to watch. We know that Ethereum did about 18,000 X over about 5 years, something like that. So it's going to be fascinating to see PulseChain as well. And as we know, Overwatch was talking about something like 11,000 X returns from the all-time low price discovery, and typically that would happen in the first couple of months. So we'll see how we get on. What else we got going there? Morris says, love the passive income. Sorry, I said passion income. Love the passive income on offer. Absolutely, it's going to be absolutely insane. There's so many ways of making money. A lot of the products that are going on PulseChain are all profit sharing type of mechanisms. We've seen a lot of projects that will be adopting onto PulseChain. It's going to be amazing. So many passive income opportunities on PulseChain. Really, it's going to be incredible. And with super low fees, it's just a no-brainer, right? Doing hundreds of transactions for one pulse. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be really great. I'm sacrificing the way I live by throwing as much money as I can into Hex as often as I can, says Hex. Excellent choice. That's fantastic. And AK says, are you planning to use your PulseX yield to buy up more Hex? Yes, so I'm looking to accumulate more PulseX and Hex. So I'm going to be spreading it around. I want to be in all positions. That's pretty much my game there. AK says, how low do you think PLS can go in its first correction? Well, I probably we could see it go to as low as maybe a 3x. So I think there's going to be so much buying the AK. I really do think that maybe 0003 is something that ballpark could be, but I just don't see it. I think it's going to be a very good chance of getting into the double zero mark. A fraction of a penny fairly quickly. I just think there's so much after the bridge opens up. I'm talking about. I think there's going to be so much demand coming in. Given the number of people that don't have Pulse and particularly larger holders out there. So as I say, 50,000 accounts, 12.3 trillion public, obviously another 3 trillion in there. It's going to be eaten up pretty quickly if you consider the magnitude of holders on Ethereum coming for the airdrops when they get into the action. And of course, the yield farmers coming over from other chains. I think it's going to be fascinating to see that. I don't know what it is. It could be thousands to one wallet ratio. AK, so that could be pretty exciting, right? Thousands to one. It's going to be insane. So not 1,000 to 1. Sorry, it's going to be. I think it's thousands to 1 actually. If you do the math, it's pretty insane. Let me just do the math quick. We're just going to do a real crude one here. 96, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Divided by blah 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 1, 2, 3, and thousands to 1. Thousands to 1. You think about it, maybe if you take the active ones, maybe hundreds to 1 with the actives. Cool. Now says, new to the chat, come on and join us in Discord. Try to keep the chat onto the live stream content. Also, conversations and chat is best on Discord. Here's the link. You definitely join us in Discord here. It's really starting to pick up the activity. People really are making a lot of comments here. We're already climbing a couple here since the live stream started. And definitely get in here. There's so much in here. Tutorials, useful links, the chats, price chats, non-crypto, new tokens and airdrops, things like that. It's got riskier there. So that people will realize it's a bit riskier discussion than getting into Rich Hart there. But get in there and say hello. We love it. As well, ask questions as well. Also, get the latest YouTube and Twitter updates from GenHex. It's now. And Heinz Crypto, and of course Hex Token here. Hashtag Superman, your host. Nice. We've got that cool. That looks cool. That thumbnail. Cool. As you know, I'm into superheroes and sci-fi, and of course I'm loving these thumbnails as well. Very cool. All right, so we got GenHex is in the house. Good to see GenHex, and what else we got? Jonathan says, "Sorry, Superman, my 4-year-old son got on the keyboard." Nice one. That's okay, man. That's okay. Kids will be kids. Hardy Hex says, "Superman, how about an interesting side effect idea from Richard Hart in this testnet? Looking for the numbers forecast to see the upcoming value and possible trade volume." That's a good idea. Let me just take a photo snap of that. Just one moment. And I'll print that idea out. Bam. We'll put that over on the side there. Very cool. Thanks, Hardy Hex, for that one. Did you need to give your phone number to use Discord like Telegram? Yeah, I do. I'm not on Telegram at the moment. I need to get a new phone, basically, or a new SIM card at least. No. Not that I remember. Yeah. All right. I think you guys are having a conversation here. Sorry, I'm jumping into that one. AK says, my guess is PLS will drop to 0003 or 0002 at the max. 2 or 3 hex height. That's exactly what I said, AK. I said that too. So that's good. I didn't even see your comments. So that's good. We're pretty much in the same ballpark. And AK is very good at price calls. So listen to AK on that one. It's really the larger shark accounts, AK, that are the ones that are the sellers that will do 3x because they put in a lot of money and they can get a lot of money out in a short space of time. So that's where I agree with that. Cool, sounds good. And what else we got here? We've got J-Man in the house. Good to see J-Man. Woohoo! Hit the like, absolutely. And join. Says it's now. McLaren makes some nice cars. Yeah, that car from Rack and Michelle there. Look at that thing. That is a beautiful looking car. I like the shapes in there, the color, the lighting, everything on that looks pretty cool. That is one mean looking car for sure. All right, cool VIP, as we say. Let's have a look here. So we've got a few things going on. We're going to have Hex price at the moment, 12.7 cents. We've got, obviously you can buy it on hex.com. Just follow the instructions there. Pretty easy. Maxi is at 12.84 cents. Let's have a look and see how much Maxi's in there. Man, oh man, this is insane. 171 million Maxi. That means there's the equivalent amount of Hex has been put under this. And of course, there's less than, 4 days or 5 days? Less than 5 days to go. It's insane. It's going to be amazing there. And you can see the pledge of Hex just keeps strolling in as well. So Hex just keeps going into the Maxi contract. This is a brand new concept where people pull their Hex together and stake it together, and they make a derivative ownership token called Maxi that will own the Hex that gets staked on day 880 of the Hex journey. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. Basically forms a kind of a treasury DAO, and of course the price of Maxi will fluctuate around that price, no doubt. Hedron, of course, is airdrop to Hex stakers. So you stake, you get Hedron per B share that you have. Plus, at the moment, if you claim your bonus, launch phase bonus is a 5x at the moment, 4x tomorrow. It's going to be fascinating to do that. And of course, PLSD was an airdrop to Hex stakers. There's so many airdrops that we've had. Uni airdrop, 1 inch, and many others. It really is cool to get involved in Hex ecosystem because you can just see how many airdrops and bonuses that come into Hex stakers. Really is insane. This is crypto, folks. Welcome to it. And of course, it's still relatively early in crypto. Crypto is 13 years old. It could be another 10 years before it really matures in the full sense of adoption. And of course, the technology as well. So particularly around transactions per second technology, although we do see that on some of the new blockchains, maybe blockchain 3.0 as you might call them, with high TPS transactions. So there's big ones out there with very large transaction numbers and using side chains and all sorts of things like that. Pretty impressive. All right, so looking good there, and the market's holding up pretty as well. 3,000 on ETH and 4,500, 40,500 on Bitcoin, and of course with Elon Musk. Was a bullish move today with Twitter. We talked about that in the first live stream. Dogecoin has done particularly well, up quite a bit there, 27%, I think, on the Dogecoin. 27% at 16.1 cents. So you can see that in the chart there. We look at the daily chart. It's probably going to look pretty good. Yeah, so it was trading around 12.5 cents, and of course it is really rallying here at 16 cents at the moment. So pretty bullish. That's bullish for Dogecoin and bullish for crypto. So I think crypto's enjoyed the benefit of that news as well. But of course, freedom is probably fundamentally more important, but still very cool. D-Hex in the house. What's up, everyone around the world? Hexkins, PulseXkins, and PulseXkins. That's the way we go. And what exactly does Bridge do? So basically, it wraps the tokens, and you can pick up a token on the other side. Pretty much what it does. Puts a real token in and wraps it up, and you get playing with a wrap token on the other side of the chain. We're going to be doing a video on that tomorrow, Aaron. I was going to do it today. Actually, this session was going to be on bridges, but we'll be doing that tomorrow. I have to prep for that one. So that's going to be cool. Bridges ERC to PulseChain. Yep. And of course, you might be familiar with wrapped ETH or wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. So it's basically taking Bitcoin. They take a certain amount of it and then wrap it up, and you're playing around with wrapped Bitcoin. So even though there's probably 19 million Bitcoin in existence on the Bitcoin chain, I think there's probably, I can't remember the exact number, but maybe 130,000 Bitcoin on Ethereum, and that's all wrapped Bitcoin. So it's been wrapped on the Bitcoin chain for the Ethereum. So it's pretty much how that does. So it's kind of back there 1-to-1. Aaron David says, why did he say Bridge is a game changer? Now the Bridge is a game changer because 1 or 2 days after PulseChain launches, it's not going to be a closed system. So the system's not going to be open to everybody. And you only have access to the closed system if you've got the airdrop tokens. So if you had ERC20s, they're going to get copied out of PulseChain. You'll have ERC20 copies, but they're going to be worth 0 until the bridge opens up. And of course, when that bridge opens up, people are going to be able to bridge over stable coins from Ethereum, and that's going to be able to flood through the pools. There's uncertainty about what the stable coins will be worth that get copied over onto PulseChain. So there's uncertainty about that, particularly the centralized tokens like USDC, that's the Circle one, or USDT, the Tether one. So whether they will, how they will operate. Now they may operate perfectly well, they may get supported, but of course these tokens, some of them are US dollar backed, and of course that means that they have to be 1-to-1 backed, generally speaking. Although no official audits have been played, audits have been promised, but no audits have been publicly disclosed. So there's a few issues around that. And I'm sure the SEC is trying to follow up some of that too. So cool. DX says, let's go Hexkins. Absolutely. D-Money says, I'm here. D-Money's entrance is like the green colors of a pumping crypto market. And it's always good to see D-Money in the house there. Pulse Beta says, afternoon, Superman. Did you check out the song from Five for Fighting called Superman? No, I have not. I might check that out later as well. GetHex says, we are getting closer to party time. Absolutely. So it really is. I always say it's the quiet before the storm, but it's going to really ramp up, folks. It's going to be super exciting. PulseChain madness will come when it launches, I should say. It's going to be insane activity. And as I said, 196 million wallets on Ethereum. This doesn't include all the other chains. They're going to be coming over to PulseChain. All the yield farmers and just everybody, DeFi, GameFi, NFTs, you name it. It's all going to be coming, and it's going to be really crazy stuff there as well. The cool thing I like about PulseChain too is that you're going to own the keys to your coins. Now on Polygon, which is the second layer of Ethereum, you don't own the keys to your coins there. You have to bridge them back and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, that is just an added sense of security over your assets, right? Owning the keys to your coins is just a really, you are your own bank. When you have the keys to your coins, there's no one else you're relying on. And I think that's so cool with PulseChain. We're going to love that aspect of it for sure. Now, to access your airdrop, what are you going to do? Well, all you have to do is add the PulseChain mainnet blockchain when it launches to your MetaMask, for example, and then you'll just be able to switch it over from Ethereum over to PulseChain, and you'll see your airdrop there. And so your ERC20s on Ethereum will be called PRC20s on PulseChain, and of course you'll just be able to see them in your wallet. Cool. So if you've got some link over on Ethereum, you'll see that copied over to PulseChain, etc. It's going to be fascinating to see that play and get excited. What else we've got in the house there? We've got a few people. We've got, let's jump through some of this. Mr. Frost says, accumulate Hex as much as we can. Biggest airdrop coming soon. Absolutely, Mr. Frost. I think you've got it. So that was kind of one of the key suggestions in this live stream was the best asset probably to accumulate is Hex because good chance there'll be strong liquidity. It will get priced up pretty quickly. And there's probably a lot of people after it as well. So it's going to be a good idea there. Pulse Beta says, let's not just count our money before we have it in our hands, peeps. This is crypto. Remember, anything can happen and does go wrong when you least expect it. That's true, Pulse Beta. It's always good to have a sense of grounding as well. Pulse Beta says, people still haven't decided on their strategies yet. I was going to bridge over USDC to buy Pulse, but changed my mind yesterday and bought Hex because too cheap. Nice one, Pulse Beta. Well, there we are. That's a good backing up the suggestion I made there. And, of course, what Mr. Froge said above, that is a very strong confirmation. People slowly accumulating. So obviously we've got a lot of retail accumulating. They're heading on there. That's a good way of getting Pulse if I miss Pulse or PulseX, or maybe I just want to get my copy of my Hex on both chains and nice passive income. So I've got a lot of retail doing that. But on the other hand, of course, the big money is sitting on the sidelines. Some of the big money can't really come into the chain until the bridge opens up, and we're looking forward to some of that too, because they weren't able to sacrifice for the PulseChain or the PulseX sacrifice just because it's out of bounds from their risk tolerance and their legality that they have. So it's going to be fun seeing that. Hodl Generation says, woo, kind of late, but had a great conversation about what could Twitter become if Elon fully took over. Nice. Yeah, the true. And what else we got there? We've got a few. They can jump through. There's Dog Days in the house there and turning everything into Maxi for the fork. It's a Hex on steroids. Yeah. So people are getting involved with the Maxi. We can see how successful it is. It's just absolutely doing amazing at the moment. Of course, that's going to get copied over to PulseChain too. 170. This was about 25,000 T-shares or something. It's going to be insane for that. Let's pull up Maximus and check out the actual values to check out what's going on there. So we're going to do that. We're going to swap over to Ethereum, of course. To do that, you have to claim your Maxi minting during the minting phase on Ethereum, but you will get copied over to PulseChain. So we've got the 4 days and 7 hours to go until the actual stake mint phase ends and the stake begins. So cool. Now remember, Maxi is basically a ownership token. So all the Hex that you put Hex into a jar. Everyone else puts Hex into a jar. You take that jar and you stake it for 15.2 years. And of course, the Maxi token that you get in return of you put the Hex in, you get a Maxi out. That is going to be your ownership token of that jar that you put into stake for 15.2 years. So it really makes a long-term stake very fluid. It's a really great derivative product of Hex. So great to see this innovation in the space. Hedron already came out. That was amazing. And now we've got this Maxi. What else is going to come out in the future? It's going to be fascinating. So almost $22 million there on the treasury value. And yeah, 171.3 million Hex in there so far. And we've still got, what, four days and 4.5 days to go or something. So huge. Now, the amount of T-shares, of course, all this Hex will get staked in a couple of days' time, 4.5 days or so. And, of course, that's going to, at the moment, that's 24,518 T-shares. That's amazing. Not only that, but this is bullish for Hex globally because all this Hex will be off the market for 15.2 years. That means the circulating supply is going to drop dramatically, maybe 0.5%, maybe 1%. And based on active circulation, that's probably closer to 2% or something like that. So it really is a big deal in terms of getting circulating supply off the market. Really, really is cool. All right, so total supply there is looking good. And, of course, you can see the redemption value at the moment, $127.5 million. And that's just going to climb. Take a note of this value at the moment, folks, and particularly when it goes to the stake, whatever the starting valuation is, and we'll watch that over the next 15 years. It's a long time. But once again, Maxi allows you to buy in and to buy out of this treasury. It's going to be awesome when that stake goes live. So very nice. You can also already see it's almost up to 1 billion Hex on maturity at this stage. And I think that's nothing. I think it's really going to be amazing. And we could see, maybe we get 25 Hex on the payout in the years ahead. That would be up at the 3.5 billion Hex. So you can see the numbers can really climb pretty fast. Awesome. All right, cool. Let us have a look here. More comments in the house. Sachin says, what are your thoughts after the first pump on PLS? You reckon there's going to be a big dip for us to accumulate? Or do you think it's probably better to FOMO in day one? I actually think the dips are going to be short. I think there's going to be so much demand. And then, of course, don't forget we've got liquid loans coming in 4 to 8 weeks later. And that's likely to spur on another layer of demand. So you imagine demand layering on. So we've got 1 to 2 days of ratio trading. I think Pulse is going to be the most sought after token in those 2 days. And then the bridge opens up and we will see a demand come in from everybody else that hasn't even participated. So that could be millions of people, right? Potentially within an 18-month period. So we could see massive demand coming from that, including large holders, large institutions, things like that coming in, risk-taking, VCs and other things coming in, all sorts of stuff, protocols coming in, trying to get Pulse. Like you see the Luna token trying to indirectly back their Luna stable with BTC. We could see things like that coming in to back their tokens with Pulse, just like we see liquid loans will do. And of course, we've got that next layer with liquid loans coming in 4 to 8 weeks later. Why is that important? Because you can stake your PLS tokens and then, of course, get USDL, and then you can leverage that USDL, buy more Pulse, push the price up. Those sort of mechanisms are in play. And, of course, those are particularly larger holders, minimum, sort of like the middle class of retail holders, 20,000 minimum, and you can start pushing that up. So I think we're going to see some pretty large entities use liquid loans. So it's going to be fascinating seeing that price pump metal go up. Then obviously we're going to have centralized exchanges. I think we'll get those. We already have one apparently already has notified Richard that they're likely to come in. And of course, once one comes, we could have half a dozen. That is massive exposure. On top of that, we've also got, looks like we've got some newspapers, some major newspapers probably will be covering PulseChain. They're all behind the times, right? They really don't know what's happening in crypto, but they'll probably be covering it as well. And you can see how it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We've got PulseCon 2022 coming. We've got the Heist of Stakes film documentary coming. And of course, that will add to virality. You see, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, we see more content creators coming out, taking over the space. So if we had crypto as one area on YouTube, it's starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The PulseChain Hex is number of content creators getting bigger, and the audience is getting bigger. And of course, once PulseChain launches with the airdrop, it's going to be insane, right? Just madness, absolute madness, as we say. So lots of fun ahead. It really is really cool. We know that obviously we also got the PulseX sacrifices also after Pulse. Many have said that, and of course we've seen that consistently in the polls. We also see it in the PulseX on the trade ratio. We go to PulseX, we can also see the trade ratio has been consistently in favor, even though this is fictional in terms of the value and the volumes. The actual trend is probably indicative of what we might reasonably expect to see. We're going to probably have about 16.4 trillion in the public hands, including the AMM bot liquidity pools, and then probably about 17 trillion. Sorry, I meant 16.4 trillion, and then 17 trillion in the PulseX. So some interesting numbers there, but I think it's really the demand factors that are the most important. So demand and supply there. So pretty cool. We have Pulse being staked in validators. Pulse eventually being in a third-party dApps like Liquid Loans. We're going to have PulseX out with the buy and burn, of course. PulseX with the fee burn. So you can see the supply side things are really amazing. And, of course, the demand side is going to be absolutely amazing too. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But so being pretty consistent with this ratio here on the testnet. I think that's kind of a little bit indicative of where things possibly might go. But, of course, the volume might actually be quite volatile as well, especially with the big players. The big players are really going to determine where things go. So really, really cool. You got to remember, most people don't have Pulse, and most people don't have PulseX. So that's really important to remember. And we've got a lot of people coming over that bridge. That's going to be pretty insane. And we've got awesome protocols that are going to help pump all of these. Just most of the protocols coming on. If you haven't checked out the video by Bezo T, looking at many of the new protocols coming on, they've all got interaction with PulseChain and some cases PulseX, where they are doing fee burning, buying, and all sorts of things. So you can see that the economy is going to be massive. It really is mind-blowing how big this is going to be. So PulseChain madness is coming, man. And of course, once that bridge opens up, imagine it. It's going to be insane. It's like having a cool house party with 100,000, 150,000 wallets. And then, of course, the word gets out across the city. And then suddenly you've got hundreds of thousands to millions of people coming and wrecking your whole suburb, right? So it's going to be pretty like that. It's going to blow up as well. So cool. All right, let us get into a couple more comments here as we go. We've got a few house there. Big heart out from Francis. Good to see Francis in the house. And passive income generator pig says Gen X is pretty hilarious. Let's jump through some of these comments. Bob Wells in the house there with the emojis, looking good. Sachin says, what are the chances of today's testnet price reflecting in mainnet in about 6 months of launch? I'd say 100%, says Sachin. Yeah. So what you're talking about there, Sachin, is the info here page. We're looking at the overall metrics. We can see massive volume here. Imagine if we were getting this on PulseX, you could see how pumpamental this would be. 4.69 billion on the 24-hour the other day. We had 3.1 billion 3 days ago, and yesterday was 2.82. So if we take 2.82 billion and we do 2.82 and we divide it, we times that by 700,000, which is our burn per billion, then that would be just under $2 million, basically $2 million of buy and burn in 1 day. 1 day. So pretty insane. Now we know that the total amount of DEXs, if we pull up with CoinGecko, is pretty impressive. So we're going to go to CoinGecko, and I like to show the numbers just so that you can see them for yourselves, rather than me just spitting them out, as it were. We'll look at the decentralized exchange on CoinGecko, and we can see that the current 24-hour volume on the DEXs, these are DEX means decentralized exchange for those that are new to crypto, 4.777 billion in 24-hour volume, folks, and that is 3.9% of the DeFi volume dominance of the global amount. So just a fraction, and that's how big it is, folks. Welcome to crypto, and of course, where dreams come true. And there we are, 4.7 billion. And the other thing is that imagine the PulseX getting half of this. Imagine getting 2 billion a day. That's 1.4 million buy and burn a day. Getting 50%, say, or so of this volume is pretty insane. Imagine if PulseX gets the whole amount. Imagine if it doubles the amount of DEX volume, because it's so cheap, so super fast. It's so incentivized for pumpamentals with the airdrop, with the yield farming, with the fixed supply, with the buy and burn features, all these other things coming on, all the dApps coming in with these new DeFi revenue sharing protocols and incentives. It's going to be pretty insane. NFTs, DeFi, GameFi, all that stuff is going to be really, really taking off. So you can imagine us getting just a fraction of this. Imagine if we did get the whole amount. Imagine we get the 4 or 5 billion within, say, I don't know what time frame, but in a pretty fast pace, we could see the crypto exchanges doing pretty well as well. So at the moment, we've got Binance there at just under 18 billion in 24-hour volume. And of course, imagine if we got in at 4 billion or so, we'd be above OKX there. We'd be number 2 out of centralized exchanges. That'd be amazing, because at the moment, all the dexes together, pretty placing themselves just at number 2 spot. And imagine if PulseX could do that. And I think a lot of the ability to do that is there, because we have the ultimate game plan that Richard Art has designed here in this ecosystem. So it's going to be awesome. And everyone's early, folks. It really is quiet before the storm. And you couldn't imagine such good asset prices to accumulate before such a major thing after a pullback. So people like to pay higher prices. You wonder why people not accumulate when prices are low, because they like to pay higher prices often. And we see that as the market goes up, we see people pay higher prices. So let's go back to the Hex chart. We'll look at the daily volume here, and we can see when the price was shooting up like this, people were jumping on, and they were paying more. And then we lasted quite a few weeks. I think it was 4 weeks up at this price range here as well in the 40s. So that's just what happens in markets. And of course, they go through cycles. So what happens if we scale the price up here? And let's say that a lot of people have price targets for Hex on both chains at about $1, maybe $1.20 within the next 2 years. That's possibly a conservative one. We just don't know, right? But that's where they have it. So imagine if we did that, we'd be up over here. We have to scale this chart up, and of course, we'd be all the way up here somewhere. And so this current high that we've got at the moment could look very low in the future once we get into the dollars. And of course, if we get into the dollars psychologically, once we hit $1, that triggers a lot more corporate institutional type of buying. And of course, once we get into dollars, we also move at bigger rates. Instead of moving a cent a day or 2 cents, and at best maybe 10 cents a couple of times, we can move at 10 cents in a day, right? So this is the way it works: 20 cents in a day, 30 cents in a day. The movements are much faster. And again, given the way the liquidity works in Uniswap, with the X times Y equals K functionality, that happens very quickly. As more tokens get taken out of one side, the other ones, it gets flooded with the other tokens, and the token that's rare in there gets priced up at the square value. So pretty amazing results. So the price just goes boom up and to the right. Exciting to see. So I think that's pretty exciting. Let's get back to the hourly though, and we're trying to fix up this chart now that I've completely cannibalized it there as well, and talking about the FOMO of the future. But pretty exciting there. Now we can see that obviously in Hex also we've got some fundamentals. We talked about this in yesterday's live stream, where we really covered Hex. So if you want to learn all about Hex, you want a good strong introduction to Hex, check out yesterday's live stream video on Hex, because we really went through some key things there. I had some people say that they had, even though they had been in Hex for a long time, they had not known a few things that were in that video. So it was great to be able to do that. So definitely check that video on Hex if you want to get more knowledge. So definitely, yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, so we've got share rates jumping up on the Hex. We've seen that, and we talked about that earlier today. We had some dramatic increase in Hex T-share rate, and that is really the key to the mathematics in Hex, is the T-share rate, and that excludes the supply and demand fundamentals. But the T-share rate jumped 239 today, and of course that went up to 21,657. So 21,557. So really, it was a big move. A lot of profit taking from long-term stakers. That's what happens as long-term stakers with large holdings take profit. They get a big ROI return, maybe 50%, maybe 100%. And of course, that there adds on to the share rate. The share rate adjusts for that. And of course, that then makes it harder for them to get, they can't get the same amount of T-shares again. And of course, new people that are coming in, it gives them a fairer, equal opportunity to get in there at a particular share rate. And of course, over time, that adjusts itself in time, so that people getting in today get more shares than people getting in the future. But of course, over time, the total shares will decrease and the payout per T-share will increase. That's the logic there. So pretty powerful stuff for T-shares. So those are the Hex stakers. And of course, Hex stakers are cream in it. Look at these returns. Amazing. Over 6 at the moment. And of course, maybe in 5-10 years, this will be 30, 40, 50 Hex per T-share as the number of T-shares decrease. There are only about 10.6 million T-shares. Obviously, it's going to get copied over to PulseChain. All these metrics will get copied over there, and then they'll start doing their own thing on each chain. But basically, both chains will be thriving. So even though PulseChain is going to be just ginormous in the crypto space, Ethereum's going to keep going. And of course, there'll be both tokens on both chains earning passive income, and the mechanisms continue on. So very exciting to see how that plays out. No one knows how the price is going to play out, but basically 2 working chains pumping along. Obviously, PulseChain with the superiority, with cheap fees, lower super fast transactions, is going to be of a huge help to people getting in to adoption on that chain in particular. But of course, you've got the APY differences between the two chains, and of course, big investors not too worried about high gas fees as well. So that's the other thing. Also, the ETH 2.0 is coming down the pipeline. It will play out over time. So like a 5-6 year roadmap, and of course they will get there eventually. Even if they keep delaying a lot of things, they will get there in the end, I'm sure. Assuming that, of course, the code doesn't get so complicated that the blockchain it splits the dummy, as it were. But other than that, so cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And these wallet numbers at the moment, they're going to absolutely explode, of course, when PulseChain launches, I think, as well. And particularly going to be interesting to see how they go on PulseChain itself when it launches. So lots of things unknown. We can play probability, and that's what we do on this channel. We try and assess, make some judgment calls on those, but it's exciting. The math itself, of course, doesn't need judgment calls. The share rate just does its thing, keeps going up as people make returns. It keeps adjusting itself, and that's just automatic. So awesome to see. T-share price at the moment, pick up a Hex T-share price for 2 days stake is pretty much 2,745. And of course, you can get that for relatively a fraction of that, a third of that. If you are doing a 10-year stake, you only need about 7,100 Hex or so, maybe 7,150 at the moment to get a 10-year stake. So very cool. All right, let's jump back to the Hex price. We're rocking it on. And what time is it now? 6:36 p.m. here in New Zealand. And of course, it's Tuesday. Another nice day. Bob Wells says, hi guys and girls. Good to see Bob in the house. And I'm actually going to change the scale on that a bit more. Let's pull that up a little bit nicer there. I like to see a nice little chart. We actually might move that to the 15-minute chart as well. And we can see the 15. Oh, no, that's an uptrend there on the 15-minute chart. That's cool. Sachin says, man, I truly see PLS doing a 30-50x day one, lol, says Sachin. I think it's going to be huge as well, but I just don't know what the pullback was. No one really knows. We can use Fibonacci's, something like that. We can say it's going to go up this high. And I think it will do some incredibly insane stuff there, Sachin. But once again, I think with the bridge gate open, it's going to be insane. And I think we will see pretty big X returns, like you say, Sachin. I think that we get enough volume. Like I say, it just really depends on some of the big shark accounts. Imagine if the price really does go up high, that you could see them massively dumping Sachin. That's why I think AK was talking about what do you think we'll pull back on. And I think that that's probably the one thing there we could see. That's why we see a lot of volatility. I do think that any pullback, though, will get eaten up within the weeks following PulseChain launch. And typically the best accumulation phase is in the first, say, 3 months. So that's when you want to have your dry powder, DCA in, pick up any dips that you see. And I think we're going to see some pretty impressive appreciation in the prices for sure. Such as I'm buying Hex today. Woohoo, says such a nice one. And a power punch there from Bob Wells there. Nice. And Bob Wells says, what do you guys think of my launch date predictions? Now, was that the 5th of May? Was that the 5th of May one, Bob? I can't remember. What else we got going there? We're going to jump over to, 5th of May. Yeah, that's what I did remember. I did remember, Bob, 5th of May, 2020 at 5:50. I'm so glad I remembered that. See there? Remembering Bob is caring. That's how we roll here on this channel. Finish your stakes, rewards you will rake, says Brazology. Nice. We've got a lot of number alignments and rhyming going on here in the chat. Let's jump through some of these. Brazology says, hit the like button. Absolutely. I'll just jump through some of these. Chris Markins in the house there. Woohoo, my Kiwi buddy. Hey, good to see you, Chris. And Kiwis small little nocturnal birds, if you know what they are. They've got beautiful feathers, Kiwi feathers. I think they're pretty unique to New Zealand, actually, that kind of feathering. But they're nocturnal birds, and they don't fly anymore. They're probably the size of a small, medium dog, but they're very rare. I'm not sure. I think we brought them back from extinction, but there may be a couple hundred pairs or something, and maybe 100. I don't even know how many, but it's not that many. Pairs, would I say pairs? They're mostly solo, but they do obviously, I think they lay eggs and do that sort of stuff, typical bird stuff. Anyway, that's a little Kiwi update there. Hey Superman, what happens if I sell my minted Maxi tokens? Do I lose pulled Hex? Yes, you do. Pulse Life. The Maxi token is the ownership token If you sell that, then someone else will own the Hex that you put in there and all the gains, all the Hex payouts to the stake and the Hedron as well. Brillo says, earlier you asked somebody to make a meme of Richard Hart as Robin Hood. I made the meme for you. Hope you like it. Oh, nice. Let's pull that up. Let me just pull that up on the channel. Let me have a look at that.
Ready to simple.
Scroll back up here. Where's the link? I don't know how far I am up in the contents there. Let me just let me have a look here. There it is. Not too far. I'm not too far behind on the comments, which is nice. There we are. So let's take that. We're going to put that on here. And bam. Let's have a look at this meme. So we're going to scroll this meme up here. Bam, bam, bam. Is it going to work? Oh, that didn't work at all. The opposite way. All right. Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Richard Hart. I give the rich and I take from the rich and I give to the poor shrimp, squids, and turtles. That's hilarious, man. I'm a tinkering turtle. Take these Hex T-shares and soon PulseChain coins. And then we got hell yeah, I'm rich. What? Wait, you're what? And then it takes the knife. That's terrible. You're crazy, man. Brazil, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. That's some crazy stuff right there. I love it. I love it. I love crazy. It's PulseChain madness is coming. It's time to be crazy, that's for sure. That's hilarious. Big shout out to Brazil for that one. Big hearts as well. Any idea off to garden soon? Nice one, Paul. Good to see you out back in the garden. Stay safe if you're in the outback there, Paul, with the garden out the back there. Get Hex here. So will it be able to bridge over our copy of PX to Pulse? PX to Pulse on the bridge before it is open to the public? No, you won't be able to do that. Get Hex. What else says? Miles of Crypto says, sup, homies, we're in the house, we are. And let's have a look here. Paul says, can I end stake using cheap PulseX? No, Staker app allows you to use certain tokens. If you're using Staker app and you've got a stake in Staker app, you can do you can use some of the, I think within you can use some of the Hex, I think, the way they do it. Can't remember exact mechanism. But for standard Hex stakes, no. What else we got going there? Miles says, in your opinion, with all the staking options available for PLS and PLX, do you think it's safe to say that if we stake the whale bag of Ether, it can double it can double up the bag in 2.5 years? Well, no, all staking is not created equal, right? So if you're staking with a validator, I don't think you'll probably do near as well if you were going with liquid loans, for example, and by a long shot. And then you play the system, right? The system's got better incentive leverages. Obviously, validators are very safe, but apart from that, wasn't. And PLSX, the buy and burn is pretty much superior. The price, the speculation for PLS is based on the fact that it's the native chain, and people will compare it to Ethereum, and that's what is really the driving force of PLS. And it's more institutional orientated as well in terms of the risk reward profile, whereas PLX is more risk on asset, but the buy and burn hasn't really been seen before like that, and the total supply fixed at the beginning, so that's going to be financially just fundamentally better from a buy and burn point of view. And the tokens are actually going to start pretty similar, as I said. 12.4 trillion on Pulse with 3.2 trillion in the possibly up to 3.2. It could be smaller. In the liquidity pools could be maybe just over a trillion or something, and we'll see. In the PulseX around 17 trillion. So, but the buy and burn is going to be massive, right? Big trade volumes through PulseX. It's going to really eat up that Pulse. But remember, as it buys PulseX, it pushes the price up, so it does have a big price impact. Even though it gets the tokens off the market, it gets harder. You need more and more volumes to keep that relativity up on the buy and burn impact on the price chart. So it has the diminishing impact over time as the price of PulseX goes up. So becomes smaller and smaller. But then, of course, you get more adoption. So yeah, that's the idea. So you get more adoption. Chris marketing in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Let's have a look here. We're going to jump over to Gwei is under 30. Gwei at the moment, really cheap at the moment. Gwei's under 30. It's always a good time to stake, unstake, do some swaps. This dude is like a horse race commentator for Hex. Awesome, says Chris marketing. You're crazy. Yeah, I did that already. I already did the horse marketing shout out earlier Hexus, this is good info, says Hexiest man in the world. Well, you've probably got the best title in the world there, Hexiest. Hexiest man in the world. That's pretty funny. All right, cool. And what else we got going? And Raj says, I heard the Bored Apes Club got hacked. I wonder what that means for them. Yeah, that's not great. I might investigate that. I haven't actually heard much about that. I did see something, but I didn't investigate it at the time. This dude was a hex broker in the 80s, says Chris Markin. That's funny. You're working one of those, when they remember the brokers used to do it on the phones and the old exchanges. I visited one of those, and then on the exchanges talking. I used to think, man, they're amazing. They used to think that was amazing stuff when they're doing that. Breaking news, Hex Token breaking news. Richard got a blue check mark on Twitter. Hex Token, really? Let's go have a look here. Let's have a look here. Richard Hart. He did too. Look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo! Blue check mark. Wow. That's awesome. So cool. I thought you might be able to click on that, does something. Well done to Richard Hart. Wow. Thanks, Elon Musk. Cool. Real Richard Hart has got it. That's 23 minutes ago. That's really cool. So that's hot off the press. The real Richard Hart has a blue check mark on Twitter. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Elon Musk. Nice. So congratulations to Richard Hart there, folks. Looking good. Rocking on. See, we're getting bigger and bigger. Woo-hoo-hoo! Welcome to the world of FOMO. Get your pumpermental pants on because it's going to be burning. It's going to be burning with madness. Of course, this is awesome. And of course, Richard Hart got 200,000 followers on Twitter. So congratulations to him. And you wait till PulseChain launches, man. Richard will be in the millions. He'll have millions of YouTube followers, millions of Twitter followers, millions of Instagram followers. You watch. It's going to be insane in the membrane. A2 equals, what's it? B2 plus C2, says Paul. And what else we got there? Woohoo! It's definitely exciting. Kiwi Such says, how much X would you like, sir? Hexius says day one is going to be nuts, but if you see 50x, you don't see a big sell-off. Such and yeah, there's going to be a big sell-off in there, but there will be sustained big buying demand. And like I say, it probably will surprise. This is the way I like to describe it. It will surprise to the upside, but yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see that. This dude is legit, says Goldman Hex. It absolutely is. This channel is legit. The community is legit. We're awesome. We're going to be having an awesome time ahead. It's just getting, this is quiet. You guys here early. It's always to be here early. It's like having a first class ticket. And of course, you're going to do well. Even if you have economy later on, you're going to be doing well. You'll get to your destination pretty well. And that will be satisfaction guaranteed. Thanks for doing these streams. They're awesome, says Cookies and Crypto. Hey, you're welcome. It is a pleasure. You guys know I have a deep passion for all of this and a genuine flourishing for the community. Let's put it that way. Elon's Twitter move opens our world. What do you think, people? It does. It does. He is a real libertarian. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but he is, I think, really standing up for freedom. You can't have a world that's taken over by one worldview, right? Because that's we've seen what that does in history. And, of course, we see that creeping in only 100 years ago from those horrible scenes. And we don't want to be in that. No one wants that. And, of course, it's great to see. Freedom of speech is important, a fundamental step on making sure that we keep a peaceful world, right? This Gold Hex says this guy is some hood substance. Yeah. So I like the video. Yeah, definitely like the video. How many likes we got? 66 likes. We can do better than that. Actually, I didn't even like the video. I haven't even liked the video. That's hilarious. I'm going to smash the like button. I just smashed it. So definitely get the like button there, folks. Really get in there and do that. Let me just get rid of this so I can see the all the chats here. Nice. Post out some emojis if you got some emojis. I'm going to smash some emojis out here. Bam, 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 bam. And hey, see the purple emoji? The purple emoji that I just posted, that's the Liquid Loans token. So they have two tokens. They got the USDL and the loan token. That's the loan one there in purple. And of course, they also have their symbol, Liquid Loan symbol. So they've got quite a lot of brand marketing. They're pretty on top of the branding, to be honest. Matt's doing a pretty great job with the Liquid Loans channel as well. We're still waiting for the sacrifice balances, though. And we're still waiting for Testnet on the Testnet too. I know that they put that little post out there that we're going to get it right, but that's for the mainnet. Get the mainnet right. We understand that. We want it rewrite, but let's get this other stuff out too while the testnet's on. Ryan says you can always buy back your Maxi, but it will continue to trade up in the long term. Yeah, that's going to be fascinating. I've had a few speculations on the price there, but it should track the Treasury over time. But hey, it may trail the Treasury at a discount. And what's the discount? It could do that. We'll find out. I do think it's a great product, but markets do some weird things, especially over 15.2 years' time. Ryan says, it feels like the ecosystem exploding and we haven't even launched. Yeah, that's right, Ryan. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying PulseChain madness is coming, because this is going to be bigger than any of us even thinking at the moment. And we're looking at this every day. And like I said, we're going to get taken by surprise by that. Baldwell says, I'm ready to give up some Hex to Maxi. Makes me sad, says Spell. Giving up your Hex, yeah. Oh my God. Do you know how, I don't know if you're new to this channel, if you're new to Hex or PulseChain, you don't know how difficult it is to give up your Hex. And even for a good cause, like sacrificing or by doing stakes, it really is quite hard. People, I can understand the thing there. Obviously, if you've got Hex in your stakes, though, then you know you've got the return coming, right? You've got the return coming, and that includes for Maxi, right? So cool. Thank God for Elon. This is hope again. Absolutely, I think it's a very important thing for freedom worldwide, and of course, obviously the shareholders should probably accept that offer because it's so good. They won't be getting it if they don't accept it. It'll just be insane in the membrane. Big hearts coming from Francis, and Bob Well says that sounds like an interview in the making, says Bob. It does. That'd be pretty awesome. Brillo says this is the hard, quiet time. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it there. Just wait until we are back at 50 cents at Hex. You will never have seen before popping up out of the woodwork, and this place is going to be busy. Yeah. Obviously, the price is number one in crypto. That is the most attention from the price in crypto. That is the way it goes. It's now says freedom. Yeah, absolutely freedom, man. Freedom, baby. The sweet taste of freedom. It is a fundamental part of a thriving, prosperous society. You cannot have, an authoritarian environment because, and people are trying it, right? They're trying it on the last couple of years. And the thing is, you've got to keep that freedom, baby. Freedom, yeah. And you can disagree with people, right? You've got to have the freedom to disagree, and you need to be able to express yourself, not be hiding in fear. Really is important. And crypto is a big part of that, right? Crypto gives you that decentral and blockchain. Decentralized freedom really is really cool. Ryan says a great point, says Ryan. Pulse Life says, thank you for the clarification on the Maxi token. Can I not just buy more on the market to replace what I sold in the future? Yes, you can, Pulse Life. You just don't know whether you'll be paying a higher price or a lower price. Obviously, the Treasury is going to keep going up day after day. So the Treasury will gain Hex and Hedron every single day for 5,550 5 days. So just remember that. But the question I have, of course, is that the price could trade at a discount to the Treasury. And what is that discount? Because the period is 15.2 years, which is a long period of time. So this is my critique. That's my critique. The rest of my comments about Maxi are bullish. But of course, that one thing is the question I see. And why do I say that? Because I see a lot of the DAOs that operate. They don't have redemptions, many of the DAOs, but the ones that do are probably a better product because you can redeem the token. But it depends what they're doing with the DAO, right? They're doing the DAO to give you back, to invest and give you back funds at a good rate of return. Maybe that is a decent product. But once again, it's going to be fascinating to see how the market prices the Treasury versus the Maxi over time. Now, at the moment, of course, Maxi and Hex are trading almost 1-to-1, aren't they? So we're at 12.78 on Hex, and Maxi at the moment 12.84. So pretty much the same. And of course, once this phase ends in about 4.5 days, the Hex will get staked, and of course the Maxi. How's that going to change over time going forward? I think there'll probably be a bit of a speculative burst, either straight away or just shortly after, and then maybe we'll find out how that tracks towards the Treasury price. We're also going to wait to see how Maximus has they'll probably change the reporting here, probably have a chart that has the Treasury price and the Hedron, the Maxi price going against that as well. So, but in any case, the Treasury will just keep getting richer and richer and richer. That's pretty much it. At the moment, of course, what did I change the price there? I'll put that back to the default. There's 6. This is the current payment. Tomorrow, at the moment, it's 127 million at the end of 15.2 years. And of course, so far, people putting in just under 22 million. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. Cool. Let us jump over to the Hex finally. How are we up to? Now in 24 minutes. So we're going to wrap up shortly. In a couple of minutes, we're going to go to 1 hour and 30. We're just going to wrap up soon. We've got a cool crowd though. Big welcome, of course. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell. Definitely share the channel. That really does help. Subscribing really helps. Liking really helps. The bell really helps. That's how YouTube works. And of course, the bigger this channel gets, the more that people hear about Hex and PulseChain and PulseX. So you pump your own bags as well. The other thing is that it's going to be insane if you want to help people to get onboarded or to learn more place to hang out. Definitely share out the channel, subscribe, leave comments as well. If you're watching this video after the live stream, smash out those comments because I respond to them all. So get into that one. The other thing, of course, is don't forget to get into Discord. Discord, the link is in the video description. We are building this out. We've got 226. We've added 4 more members during this live stream. We're heading up to 250. And we've got, this is really cool, man. We've got this set up really nice, and we're going to keep building it. This is with Craig Wadding from Gen Hex YouTube, who does wonderful panel shows, interviews, and of course, Heinz Crypto as well. So there's 3 of us content creators on here at the moment in the syndicate. And of course, we're going to keep building on that. And we've got an open mind, right? Open heart, open mind. So it's a great place to be. And as much freedom as possible. Obviously trying to make a safe environment, but a flourishing environment here. But you're going to have YouTube videos pop up here. You're going to have Twitter pop up here. You're going to have useful links. So if you want to get to all the cool links, PulseChain, Hex, and everything, you can find them all here. We're going to keep building this list out, of course. And video tutorials, we've got 2 to 5 minute video tutorials on PulseX, PulseChain. You can see that as well. We've got the Richard Hart tokens, general chat, so you can get in there, have a chat, price charts, and non-crypto. We've also got the PulseChain project's riskier stuff, and maybe airdrops. You got new tokens chat, and of course, any links that are there as well. We've got this separated out just so in case the moderators can find all the links and make sure that they're okay in most cases, so not too controversial, that sort of stuff. Also, if you become a Hex Token channel member, hit the join button. We've got PulseX, Hexkins, Richard Hart Club. Those are 3 ways of supporting the channel. And of course, you can get, if you're Hex Token channel member, you get a purple name. If you're a standard member, you get a blue name. And of course, you get access to the channel members tab there as well if you want to have a private chat with some of the other Hex Token channel members. Pretty cool. So get in there, folks. It's been really getting more vibrant every day. It's getting more chatter in there. And if we've got any questions, people are willing to help you answer them. It's 24/7, Hex Token channel 24/7, along with Gen Hex, Craig Wadding, and of course Heinz Crypto, and of course It's Now is in there as an absolute trooper and doing some great stuff for the community. So big awesome stuff happening in this chat, and of course we've got a lot of other cool moderators in there too that are very helpful as well. So get on that. PulseChain, PulseX 100X end of 2023. More than that, man. More than that. That's too low for us there, Pulse by PulseX. We're far more bullish than that. Hexmatic says, good morning, Hex fam. Good to see you. Woohoo. And finally, we got some emojis from It's Now. Very cool. Join. There might be a wrench in it. Says It's Now. So It's Now is the foreman of the moderators. So big shout out to you. And by PulseX, are you on All Blacks, Super Rugby, Kiwi, or a Warriors NRL? Well, out of all those, I'd probably be a All Blacks thing, but I really haven't watched a lot of rugby in years now. So I used to when I was younger, but probably out of all those teams, the All Blacks would probably be the one that I'd be most interested in watching. Rugby league's interesting, but I do prefer a faster game. Not all rugby is fast. Sometimes there's they're not running the game. Those are boring. I like fast running games. But yeah, that's probably where I'd lie there. Ryan Goin says staking opportunities for Maxi look great too. Arbitraging the price of treasury price, it's so exciting. That's true. There's also yield farming obviously in there, but you've got permanent loss issues possibly. So there's a few extra stuff there. You're the man. Smash the like button, says Peeps, says Pulse Life. I appreciate that. 2037 is going to be awesome here, says Excellence. That is going to be awesome here for the Maxi stakers for sure. Major payback, and of course could be absolutely humongous. I made a new new mock-up pic where to send it to show in the Hex Token audience. Is HardyX. Probably send it to me at token. I'll just get into Discord and hit me up in Discord here. Type my name in or DM me there and just put Superman in. Just Superman and just hit me up with that, or just hit me in the private chat there as well. You can post that to me. I can show it maybe tomorrow. Because Discord at 226. Woohoo! Yeah, It's Now. And thanks so much, It's Now, for helping with that. It's Now is doing a great job in there too. Conservative estimate, no penalties, and only 6x per t-share. Maximus Minters about to expect about 12x. Yeah, and that's super conservative, as Brazology is pointing out. Really conservative. There's the Discord link to join the Discord. Get in there for 24/7. And Digwolf says, with Elon owning Twitter, will this affect the Hex price over time? Well, I think it's going to, freedom is good. Freedom allows flourishing. And of course, he's also pro crypto. So that's generally good for the general crypto. It's probably the way I put that. And with no price appreciation, yeah, from the Maxi, yep. If not 100x, 1000x at 2023, yeah, let's go for 1000x by PulseX. Let's sit on that. Of course, we're hoping for the 10,000x, but let's settle for the 1000. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I will catch you tomorrow for 2 more live streams. Yo. And hopefully the bridge tomorrow. The bridge is the one I'm really trying to kick out. I was hoping to do that today, but that will probably be tomorrow. And a big shout out there. We're going to go next level on the bridge. I'm going to hopefully do stuff on the bridge that I haven't done before. And hopefully that will be fun too. All right. Take care out there. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget, if you're a Hex Token channel member, smash out the emojis on the way out. That's how we roll. And I'm going to post a few now. I will be in Discord, so you'll be able to see me in Discord. Yeah, I'm going to have some dinner now, of course. It's dinner time here in New Zealand. Currently, it is 7 o'clock in the evening, 26th of April, and it's Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Peace out. PulseChain madness is coming. Woohoo! Accumulate, get your positions set up because it's going to be the chance of a lifetime. Really is going to be awesome. All right, peace out there. Take care. Bye for now. Woohoo! Rock on!